First, I'll provide the verses from John 9 verses 11 to 20, from the New International Version. 11 He replied, "The man they call Jesus made some mud and put it on my eyes. He told me to go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed, and then I could see." 12 Where is this man? They asked him. "I don't know," he said. 13 They brought to the Pharisees the man who had been blind. 14 Now the day on which Jesus had made the mud and opened the man's eyes was a Sabbath. 15 Therefore the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. "He put mud on my eyes," the man replied, "and I washed, and now I see." 16 Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath." But others asked, "How can a sinner perform such signs?" So they were divided. 17 Then they turned again to the blind man. "What have you to say about him? It was your eyes he opened." The man replied, "He is a prophet." 18 The Jews still did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they sent for the man's parents. 19 Is this your son? They asked. "Is this the one you say was born blind? How is it that now he can see?" 20 We know he is our son, the parents answered, "and we know he was born blind." Expounding on the passage. This passage is part of a longer narrative in which Jesus heals a man born blind. This act of healing becomes the focal point of a significant discussion and confrontation between the healed man, the Pharisees, religious leaders, and others in the community. The miracle and the testimony. The blind man recounts his miraculous healing to those who inquire, emphasizing the role of Jesus. Notably, his account is straightforward and without embellishment. The issue of the Sabbath. Jesus performs this miracle on the Sabbath, a day of rest and worship. Doing work on the Sabbath was considered a violation of the law, and this becomes a primary contention for the Pharisees. While some see the undeniable good in the act of healing, others focus on the perceived violation of the law, highlighting a recurring theme in the Gospels, the tension between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. Diverse opinions. The Pharisees themselves are not unanimous in their judgment. Some question Jesus' divinity based on the Sabbath healing, while others are puzzled, wondering how someone who is a sinner could perform such a wondrous act. Acknowledgement of Jesus. When asked about Jesus, the healed man calls him a prophet. This is significant, as it denotes that the man sees Jesus as someone sent from God, even if he doesn't fully understand Jesus' divine nature at this point. Questioning the miracle. Doubting the authenticity of the miracle, some Jews interrogate the man's parents. This scene underscores the depth of their skepticism and perhaps their unwillingness to believe in Jesus' divine power. The parents confirm the identity of their son and his congenital blindness but sidestep questions about the healing, possibly out of fear of repercussions. This story reflects themes of spiritual blindness and sight. While the man receives physical sight, the Pharisees, despite their deep knowledge of the Scriptures, display a type of spiritual blindness by failing to recognize the Messiah in their midst.